welcome to today's video. My name is Tiffany and today we are officially announcing the 2021 no-buy year that I committed to. And I'm actually pretty excited about it. I was a little nervous at first. I felt like, why am I doing this? I'm going to be really tempting myself on a regular basis to spend money, and then I'm gonna challenge myself to not spend any, and then I'm gonna spend it and I'm gonna fail, and then I'm gonna feel really bad. So I wanted to basically just announce it and kind of go over what my rules and my requirements, I guess, or however I'm going to be following it throughout the year, and also the few exceptions that I did have to squeeze in there, and then explain to you why, and then we're just gonna do it. So first of all, if you are doing a low buy or a no buy, I would love to watch your video and see why you're doing it and what you're hoping to accomplish, and definitely let that down below in the comment section because I would definitely come check it out. So let's just get started, and I'm going to tell you the reason why first, and then we're going to kind of go through what I'm going to be following. So number one, the reason why I decided to do a no buy this year is because I realized by tracking how much money I was spending. I wrote down every single time I went to the store, how much I spent, kind of what I was spending it on, that I was spending a lot of money on random stuff that I technically don't really need, but the collector in me told me, yes, you need it and you have to have it, and I listened to that. So once I kind of figured out that I could have put that money to other things that are far more important or actually a necessity, I really started to feel pretty guilty about it and decided that I thought it would be interesting to challenge myself to see how much stuff I actually have already in my collection, whether that's cleaning stuff, makeup, skincare, home decor things that I've had in totes down in the basement that I just haven't touched because I just kept buying more. And I wanted to see if I could just challenge myself to using that stuff instead of constantly bringing new things in. The other reason why is because we do have a smaller home and we don't have a ton of storage space, and I was kind of running out of room, and I hate clutter, so I don't want to see it, and I feel like that was a reason why it was starting to get that way, is because I just keep bringing stuff in. So ultimately, the 2021 no buy sounded like a really good idea, and I think that it's gonna work out really well so far. So I officially started it on January 1st and have not spent any money so far on anything except for like necessity wise food, and really that's all. So mainly what I'm going to be avoiding is candles, wax, makeup, skincare, home decor, anything that's not a necessity that I just want because I want it, not because I actually need it. Yeah, so I really am going to have to avoid going to TJ Maxx, Home Goods, the Dollar Tree, which is very sad for me because I do just like to go there and wander around and see what I can find. So the idea of not really going in there is kind of a bummer, but it's going to be hard for me to walk away from just stuff that might be a few bucks, and just say, oh, it's okay, I'll just do it. So once we open that gate, it's the flood's just gonna, so we can't do that. We can't open that gate. So basically, the goal is to use what we have, to get creative in ways in finding other alternatives to the things that I might need, and to grow the bank account. So the other reason I wanted to do this was I set up for myself a low number. So basically, if you want to consider a 0 but a different number through my bank account, that I have to keep that number in there, or to me, I get nervous, and it's not something that I like to do, is to go below that number. So I did that a couple years ago because I wanted to make sure that I was not going to be worried about living paycheck to paycheck, and that low number that I have which is, you know, it's an amount, then I want to be able to actually increase that. So I want that number to increase, and I want to be able to keep that into that account. So I do have an emergency fund account, and I do have several accounts that I place money into for various reasons, but just the overall expense of like I don't know how to say it. It's just the overall amount that I want to be able to have in there. So just in case we need it for whatever reason, it's there and I'm not dipping into my savings, if that makes sense. So I actually want to bring that number up, and I think that I will be in really, really good shape if I can do that. And I'm curious to see how much it will actually grow. So that's that. So there are going to be a few exceptions. So they might seem a little silly to you guys, but they're just kind of my little exceptions or rules that I put in there for myself. And the first one is going to be, and I mentioned this in a video too, that I decided way before this as a goal that when I hit the 1,000 subscriber mark on my channel, that I was going to buy myself a ring light, because I didn't want to invest a lot into YouTube unless I really was sure that I wanted to stick with it, which I love this. It's been one of like the most fun things I've ever done and such a gratifying thing. So I wanted to be able to give myself that goal of buying myself that ring light once I hit that number, and then I would also be able to film other types of videos that I've been putting off because I don't have that lighting other than natural lighting that I use whenever it's sunny. So like days like today. So that was a little goal that I set for myself, so I am going to stick with that. And then health expenses. So of course, anything that's medically necessary, but for me, one of those expenses is going to be my front teeth are all veneers, and I work in a dentist office, so I have access to doing things with my teeth, and I'm replacing them with zirconia porcelain crowns. So that is going to be a lab fee that I'm going to cover, and that will be an expense, but that's something that I actually need because these are very old now and they're falling off and they need to be replaced. So that is something that I will do. The next thing I have is kind of a fun one, and I will link the information or link the website down below in case you're interested in signing up. Is Amazon has a program and it's called MTurk. And it is a program where you can go on there, sign up as an MTurk worker, and you fill out surveys and questionnaires, things like that, and they will give you money in return. And it's not a lot of money. Some of them are like 20 cents, so you really have to do multiple surveys to amount any kind of dollar amount. But for me, I find them fun, and I think it's interesting to see some of the questionnaires or the surveys that they come up with, and they're just very silly sometimes. So I'm allowing myself to use the money that I get from Amazon towards Amazon and to buy things that I want. So it doesn't amount to a lot, like I mentioned, depends on how many you're doing. So say I want to get some kind of Tupperware container or something, and I can use that money to put it towards that. Just simple, something like that. Gift cards that I received for Christmas or my birthday, whatever that may be, I'm allowed to use them, but I'm not allowed to go over the dollar amount of what I have on the gift card. So no $2 over, it has to be that amount or less. That's simple. This might seem like a silly one, but it's there. I started my channel doing a eye cream challenge, and I was doing a list of 15 different products, and I stopped it because I accumulated so many eye creams and they were pretty pricey once I started moving up with the challenge. So if I happen to finish all the ones that I still have in my collection by the end of the year, I will purchase that next one so I can continue doing it, because I haven't done anything with it because I was just trying to use up what I have. So if that would happen, then I'll put that in an update and I'll tell you what I'm purchasing, how much it is, and so forth. And there's the last two, and they're smaller, but I do have a baby niece that is coming. She's on the way, and I wanted to get her a few things. And it's not going to be anything crazy, but I do like to get a couple things, or I would like to get a couple things for her because I'm super excited to meet her. And that will be one. And then the last thing is going to be small amounts of donation or gifting. So you will see what I'm talking about more in another upcoming video, but small amounts for donation or gifting. So that is something that is important to me, and I don't want to cut that out. So, and you will see why. So that is basically going to sum it up. I'm going to do monthly updates. In those updates, you will get to see if there's something that I ran out of, how am I going to replace it? I'm trying to be very creative, so you'll probably see a little bit of some MacGyver situations or something in that nature. And yeah, so, and then how much I saved or how much it's growing, and we'll just kind of go from there. So if you're interested to see how this pans out throughout the year, I definitely welcome you to subscribe, because I would love to have you here as part of it. And like I said, I'm really excited, so I'm kind of curious to how it's going to go. And again, if you are doing one, definitely let me know down below. I will come check it out. And that is it. So I hope you guys all have a fabulous rest of your day. I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye.